How's it going, everybody? So we have decided to go with a round baler. So we've done our demos, we've checked out what we need to check out, we've done our research, and we have picked a round baler. So the question is, which one did we pick? And before I show you that, I'm gonna try not to, I tend to ramble a little too much, and I kind of go on tangents a lot, so I'll try to keep this as short as I can and not do that. But anyway, so I'm gonna quickly just go over why we chose the baler we chose, why we didn't demo balers that other people think we should demo, and all that other fun stuff. So anyway, before we even talk about the ones we're considering, let's talk about some of the ones we didn't consider. Number one, the one that I really would like to try, but we didn't, was a Krone round baler. I didn't try a Krone. White's Farm Supply deals with Krone, but they didn't have any Krone round balers. I know they sell Kuhn and they sell case round balers, so I don't know if they can't sell Krone round balers or if they just choose these. But I don't know what the deal is, but they didn't have any round balers on the lot. I think it's called North Java or North Java Supply out in, well, it would be North Java or Java, New York. They have Krone round balers that I've looked at like Empire Farm Days in the past, and they look like really, really nice balers. I would like to try them, but I'm not going to have them come bring a baler all the way out here. I never even got a chance to get, you know, they're like 2.5 hours away, I think, and I never even had a chance to talk to them. Vermeer, a lot of people said try a Vermeer. I didn't try a Vermeer because I don't even know who the, I'd have to look it up. I said this in one video before. I don't even know who would even deal Vermeer, and then of course people send me the map of where the closest dealer is. But I know I looked it up one time and they're like 2.5, 3 hours away. There's one somewhere in New York, and then there's one in Pennsylvania, and I think the closest one's like 2.5, 3 hours away. So no Vermeer. What was the other one? McHale. McHale, well, whatever dealership we went with, I told them we have to make a deal for the self-propelled disc bind. We're going with the John Deere. Obviously we went with the John Deere. We're using the John Deere. We're not going to invest the money into fixing this up. I'll touch more on that when I'm going to do an end of the year kind of overview of going from the self-propelled back to the pull type New Holland to the John Deere. So that'll be in a separate video. But anyway, so time for this to move. Whatever baler we go with, we got to trade this in. So McHale, Clinton Tractor, and Donnie was straight up with me. He's like, listen, we're really not that interested in it. So so they would have McHale. I didn't go with them. I mean, if they're not interested in the mower, there's really no sense of wasting Donnie's time having to bring a baler down just to try it out. No. So basically, oh, and Kubota was another one. People ask Kubota. Personally, I really don't want to deal with the dealership that deals with Kubota around here. So we'll just leave it at that. So what were the balers that were in consideration? There were 4 of them that we considered. Number one, you guys saw a demo, the Kuhn round baler from a couple videos ago. That was, we demoed that from Lindsay Equipment. White's Farm Supply also deals with Kuhn. So they had a used one I went and took a look at. So we were interested in a Kuhn round baler. The second one, you saw my buddy Dusty using a Claas round baler. So we were interested in a Claas round baler. You guys saw the demo for the John Deere 450M. That was into consideration. And then we were making square bales, and there was a lot of hay in the field, and it was good hay too, and we knew rain was in the forecast. It was coming. It was getting late at night, and we had to get down here and start feeding and milking cows. And my dad's getting all flustered, like, oh my god, we still got so much hay here. We unloaded a bunch. And I said, we have a neighbor, the field we were at, there was a neighbor named John who was round baling, doing his own round baling. And I said, why don't you run over and see if John will just finish up round bale it on the way home. And John has a New Holland 7070, so he said he would. He came, he round baled. I'm telling you right now, that I was very impressed. That made a beautiful bale. Yeah, it made a really, really nice bale. So, you know, after seeing that, I said, we got to demo a New Holland. So talked to White's Farm Supply. They didn't have New Holland, they had Case, which same thing at CNH. So I ended up going over to the next town over to a neighbor farm. Talked to Steve, a guy named Steve, who has a fairly new Case round baler, and he went through the whole thing with us. He loves it. He was telling us all about it, and you know, we were really interested in trying it out. Plus, White's Farm Supply told me, I got a buddy who's a sales store manager out there, Ed. He told me that CNH was doing a 0% for 60 months over the summer deal. So I'm thinking, wow, that's great. So anyway, those were the 4 balers that we went with. So why did we make the decision that we made? Well, Ed, the salesman for Monroe Tractor, a different Ed, not the store manager for White's, a different Ed, said that he was doing some figuring, and he said the number I can give you for a trade-in on the mower is, you know, he goes, I hate to even give it to you, it's insulting. All right, so we'll take the Claas and put it here. Ben from Casanova Equipment said, listen, we don't have any interest in a New Holland mower. So, you know, we don't want the mower. It's going to be just the deal for just the baler. All right, well, we'll take the John Deere one and put that here. So we're going to leave with the Kuhn and the Case. Now, originally, we weren't going to get a baler this year. I said earlier in the season, when we got the roller harrow and the mower, those were going to be our purchases for the year. Those were going to be, you know, make things pretty tight. And we're going to go with that. Probably look for a baler next year. Then we picked up more ground. We picked up another farm. So to get all that done, the barn right now is already pretty full. So I'm up in the hayloft right now. Our hay mow, if you guys remember, if not, you'll know now, kind of divided into 3 sections. Here's a section over here, middle, that one. Here's the elevator right there. So I'm standing in the one for second cutting. You can see we got second cutting in here. We call that heifer hay, and then we call this milker hay just because it's got the chutes to go down to in front of the milkers. So I've been feeding a little bit out of here from time to time, but this one's usually up to the elevator. You see we're up to the elevator over there. So we picked up that other farm, and there's no way, as I fall in there, there's no way that if we square baled that, it was going to fit all in here. I mean, yeah, we could go higher. I know, oh, you could go higher above the elevator. We've done that before. But I'm usually the only one in the mow. So to find someone else to pick up the bales and throw them up there, we're getting harder and harder just to find anybody to put them on the elevator, let alone help me out in the hay mow, for starters. Plus, this is a really old barn. And this isn't the old 570 we had back in the day. This New Holland 5070 really packs the hay into the bale. We get it tightened right up, and it really packs the hay in the bale. So, excuse me. There's a lot of hay up in here. And in this old barn, we really don't want to push our limits and really keep, you know, putting all that weight up in here. So what we talked about doing is obviously more round bales. So the other day I went and I looked at the used Kuhn that they had, and it was all right. It's had quite a few bales through it. It looked like it was time to trade it in. So White's and Lindsay gave us the best number for trade-in for the mower. So we decided to go with, got it on the 4055 right now, the Kuhn 31 VB 3155 that we demoed in the last video. Really like the baler. Will gave us a good number for the mower. He gave us a good number for this. The only difference between this baler and the used baler I looked at is the used baler had the knives in it. This one doesn't have the knives. We don't really use the knives. Will we ever down the road? I don't know. But we just kind of, we take ours and put it out in the hay rack, or we're going to put it at the end of the heifer barn, and kind of, I've unrolled it to feed the heifers, and we'll probably do the same thing in the barn to just kind of unroll it a little bit. So we really don't need the knives because we're not putting it in a TMR mix or anything like that. So went with this. This made a great bale. Monitor was easy to use, good to use. It is getting the ramp put on it. So I had an interesting question. Someone said, why do they even come without the ramp? I have no clue. I think that's how they ship them, because I know that was the problem with the John Deere. I said that the guys forgot to put it on. What happened was, somewhere in translation, it got, the John Deere didn't have it because it didn't get delivered to the store, and that's what the issue was. But that John Deere 450 that I demoed will have the ramp on the back. If anybody's interested in that, can go see Ben and talk to Ben about that. So, so why'd we go with the Kuhn over? First off, Casanova Equipment deals with Kuhn. Lindsay, where we got this, deals with Kuhn. White's Farm Supply deals with Kuhn. So parts should be really, you know, Kuhn's got a distribution center, I think it is, up in Vernon, New York, which is about a little over an hour away. So parts for the Kuhn is going to be very accessible, which is good. I like the pickup head in this. This had a more robust pickup head than the John Deere. John Deere was easy to load the net wrap in the back. However, me not being much of a round baler, I mean, I've only got less than 100 bales under my belt now, but people have told me you're gonna want it here because it's nice to see, even though the monitor says it's working, it's nice to see this turning. So, and I get what they're saying, because even though I look in the monitor and I see it going, I'll look back and I'll see it spinning. So I know what they mean about that. So it was easy to load on the John Deere. I haven't really loaded this yet, so we'll see how this is here. On John Deere and the case baler, they had the specific pin that comes down with a plate over it, so you didn't have to run a small pin down here, because the windrow of hay just pulls it. I just got a bolt through there right now. This did not have that. That's not that's not going to make or break a deal to me. Yeah, like I said, I think people have asked me, what did I like better, the Kuhn or the John Deere? I like the Kuhn, obviously. I think it was just a little bit better baler than the John Deere. You can adjust. Come here quick. Let's go to the monitor. I don't know if this is going to pick it up or not, but let's just go see if I remember here. Nope. Let's see here. Okay, so like I said, I don't know if this is picking it up or not. So you got our 5-foot baler. I got it set right now for just under 25 psi for the bale. The core is going to be a 2-foot core, and that's set for just around 2,000 psi. So you can adjust, I can adjust what I want. And this goes up to 2,901 pound is the most I can make that core. So you can make that a pretty heavy duty core. Same thing, 2,901 pounds for the whole bale itself. So you can make that, you can make yourself quite a rock hard bale. Like I said, I don't know if any of that showed. Hopefully all that showed up on the camera. I don't know. I know sometimes GoPro cameras don't pick up the screens too well, but yeah. So basically we went with the Kuhn round baler. I'm really excited. It's got the nice, oh, here comes the rain. It's got the nice lockout to keep the head up for transport mode, which is nice. These open up real easy. There's the demo wrap. I gotta blow this off. I gotta go back to the field here, but I got this demo wrap, which I'm probably not gonna use, because I think you only get like 5 bales out of it or something like that. But I just like the way this is set up. Really happy with this baler. I went out and used it the other day, and yeah, just I think a great baler. I had people ask me, could I have gone faster? Yeah, I could have went faster. This thing would have ate the hay, not a problem. The farm we're working there, I don't know if it's ever been plowed up. Some of the fields might benefit to be plowed up and rotated a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, there were some spots where it was a little bumpy, and I'm not going to run this thing. I'm not going to bounce that head like crazy. It's the same thing with our chopper. I could have run the chopper a little faster in my chopping video, but if you get going too fast, that head just starts bouncing like crazy. And I'd rather not do that. I'd rather bump it back a gear and, you know, not beat the heck out of the equipment. Personally, that's just me. Also, I do bump back and go a little slower when I'm flying my drone. I think my drone has the thing where it'll follow you. I don't use that. So whenever you see my drone footage, I'm doing both the tractor and the drone. So generally I'll bump back a gear and go a little slower just so I can, you know, do some distracted driving. So anyway, that's basically it. This is like I said, I wanna say thank you to Will, first off, from Lindsay Equipment for bringing this up to demo. You were great to work with. Ben from Casanova Equipment for bringing the John Deere down. Kaz is always great to work with. I love working with Ben. Ed from Monroe Tractor, always a pleasure talking to him. And yeah, Bill from Bill and Ed. Bill, the salesman, and Ed, the store manager from White's Farm Supply. It was great working with those guys. I want to thank them. Even Donnie from Clinton Tractor. Like I said, Donnie's, you know, he's no nonsense. He's straight up. Listen, you know, can't give you too much for the mower. We're really not that interested. I appreciate their honesty. So, you know, I'm very, very fortunate. Out of all those, Kaz and Lindsay are the closest to us. Kaz is about a half an hour, Lindsay about 20. They're both around 25 minutes to a half an hour, Kaz and Lindsay. White's has multiple locations. The Franklin store is probably about an hour from me, I want to say, and Clinton is just over an hour. So in that hour radius, we got some really good stores with some really good salesmen. So I feel very fortunate about that. You know, they're all really good guys. They're all great to work with, and you know, thumbs up to all of them. I had you know, it was great to talk round balers with them, learn a lot of things. My buddy Dusty helped me out on what to look for, what to, you know, what to do when you're baling. I said Steve Evanick from the neighboring farm was great, taking time out of his day just to kind of go over his baler with us. I really appreciated that. Was great. Scott Hinch from Iowa. Did some great videos here back in the day, but he's more on Instagram, and you know, I reached out to him, and Scott, I really appreciate it. If you ever do see this, I really appreciate it. You were great with helping me out. I know you got a Kuhn baler, so I picked your brain a little bit. Ended up giving me his number and saying, hey, listen, anything you need, give me a call. You got any questions? And I really appreciate that. It's great to have that kind of social networking, to be able to talk to different people like that. And like I said, I really appreciate it. I know a few people that's got John Deere balers that, you know, we're pretty happy with them. So, you know, like I said, any one of those balers I picked, I think would have been, like my one uncle told me, any baler you pick is going to be a good baler. And I do believe that. It's just finding the right baler for our situation, which I think any of those four would have been. And like I said, it came down to numbers. It came down to, I always say there's three things with a dealership. There's sales, there's parts, and there's service. And you know, it came down to, you know, all of them had the sales part covered. They had a great sales team, but it came down to where was I going to get the parts? Where was I going to get the service? So I think I'm going to be able to get, you know, Kuhn parts a lot easier. And like I said, for our situation, it came down to who was going to give us the best number. Actually, the one who gave us the best trade-in number for the mower was White's Farm Supply. But, you know, Lindsay was right there, right behind him with it. So they both gave the best numbers, so they were in the highest consideration. So anyway, that's why we went with the Kuhn. I'm really excited to get this back out and use it. You guys are going to see more videos with this baler. It probably won't be on the 4055. We were using the 42, so that's why we're going to be, you know, this is going to be going on the New Holland 5070, and this will go on the 4250. The 4250's got 42s, and this has 38, so it'll sit just a hair higher. That might help with some nice thick windrows and everything. But yeah, anyway, that's what I got. That's the round baler we went with. I feel like we made a good decision. I'm happy with the decision. I'm happy with the price. as happy as you can be having to drop the money. But yeah, it's I think it's going to be a good baler. You know, the more bales that I can put through here and not have to stack up in this haymow is a win for me, let me tell you. Happy about that. But anyway, I need to get back to work right now. So anyway, thumbs up if you like this video. Drop me a question or comment below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thumbs up to you. I totally appreciate it. Thanks again to everybody for all your help with the round balers and everything. And here's to more round baling videos. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody.